The last mass extinction marked the end of the dinosaur era. Now planet Earth is possibly facing its 6th mass extinction, and it will be the first one that is solely based on human activity. We can already see first signs of mass extinction, and it might even be too late to stop it or at least undo the harm that has already been inflicted. To get a better understanding of what is going on, I divided the video into the following 4 parts. What is mass extinction in general? What is causing the new one? What can we expect from it, and how can we stop or prevent it? Extinction of species is part of life on our planet. A very high percentage of all organisms that have ever existed on our planet are now extinct. When a species goes extinct, its role in the ecosystem is either filled by one or more new species or other existing ones. The baseline extinction rate, also known as the normal extinction rate, is about 1 species per every 1 million species per year. However, a mass extinction event is a short period of geological time in which about 75% of the world's species go extinct. In geological time, short means less than 2.8 million years. Although it is hard to exactly tell when those events start or finish, there were 5 distinct of those events in the past. We had the Ordovician-Silurian extinction. Then following that up we had the Devonian extinction. After that was the Permian extinction, followed up by the Triassic extinction, and then the last one, the Cretaceous extinction, about 65 million years ago, where we lost 78% of all species, including all dinosaurs. Now, after learning about the old mass extinctions, which were likely all caused by natural phenomena, what exactly is causing the new one we might be facing right now? Unlike the others, the 6th mass extinction, called Anthropocene extinction, is caused solely by human activity, mainly, among other reasons, due to climate change, unsustainable use of land and water, pollution, habitat destruction, and inefficient use of energy. According to the Living Planet report, 30% of all land that sustains biodiversity has been converted for food production. Agriculture is also responsible for 80% of global deforestation and accounts for 70% of the planet's freshwater use, devastating the species that inhabit those places by significantly altering their habitats. On top of that, the climate crisis fuels natural disasters like frequent and long droughts, floods, and intense storms. All this leads to an alarming extinction rate that is 100 to 1,000 times higher than the normal background extinction rate. According to an estimate in a landmark report published in 2019, over the next few decades alone, at least 1 million species are at risk of going extinct. Be on the lookout for a future video where we will take a closer look at what species that might include. Since ecosystems are incredibly complex, trying to predict the outcome of a complete collapse of biodiversity is almost impossible. However, there are some very likely predictions that might occur should the extinction rate continue. Here are some examples of likely disastrous outcomes. About 1/3 of our food depends on pollination and therefore on pollinators like bees. If they go extinct, agriculture will take a huge hit. On top of that, millions of people rely on wild species, plants and animals alike, to survive. Extinct species would mean no food at all for those people. If microorganisms die off in the soil, the quality of the soil will deteriorate. Together with droughts and water shortages, this will lead to erosion, floods, and poorer fertility in general. A lot of the world's fresh water comes from wetlands that purify and redistribute this life source. For example, the natural water towers, being the tall mountains of the Himalayas, feed rivers and wetlands with melting water from glaciers and packed snow, therefore supplying up to 2 billion people. If systems like these collapse, humanity could lose a lot of water for drinking and agricultural use. With the loss of trees and vegetation, which are fundamental regulators of atmospheric carbon dioxide, climate change is expected to worsen, triggering more extreme weather events. Drier conditions and unhealthy forests also increase the risk of more wildfires. First and foremost, it will be important to reduce the negative impact we've had on the climate and nature. Overthink the way we access and use natural resources, including land and water. Make sure the habitat loss will be stopped. put way more emphasis on all conservation efforts, efficient energy use including reduction of fossil fuel burnings, prioritize protection and preservation of nature over interests of financial or political systems, reduce or even better end all types of pollution. As you can see, we could go on and on. Everybody can and should help with their individual action, but we should not forget that most of the climate altering activity is the responsibility of a small number of parties. So next to the individual efforts, putting pressure on politics and big businesses would be more effective and will be absolutely necessary if we want to stop or slow down the next mass extinction. Now to finish out the video, I would like to leave you with some words from a recent study on the 6th mass extinction published in Biological Reviews. Denying the crisis, simply accepting it and doing nothing, or even embracing it for the ostensible benefit of humanity, are not appropriate options and paved the way for the Earth to continue on its sad trajectory towards a 6th mass extinction. Now thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, click on the like button and maybe even subscribe to the channel for weekly videos. But most importantly, take care of yourselves and have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day.